Hello students, I'm Abdul Rafi welcoming you to a digital class. At the very beginning, Assalamu alaikum. How are you? Fine, of course. Hope you are fine with all, though it is very tough to be tension free because of COVID-19. So we must pray to Allah for our safety at the very beginning. And let's move on with part 2 on question tag, for which you are waiting. Okay, are you ready? So part 2 on question tag. The first statement, the Tista Express runs first. Second, the sun sheds beams. So like the previous examples, look at the statements for helping verbs. So in these examples there are no helping verb visible, so you need to think over their tenses. The tense is present indefinite tense, so of course do, does will be under consideration. So as there is s with main verb, so does should be written there, doesn't she, as the statement is affirmative, so that question is negative. The next one, doesn't he. Here you are confused about the subject or pronoun of the tag question, right? See, it's very natural because the subject of the statement, the Tista Express, is not a person at all. The same thing happens to the second statement, the sun, but the subject or the pronoun of the tag question in first sentence she, and in second sentence he. So for clarification of this confusion, we need to study gender chapter, where you will find some words that are used as feminine gender or masculine gender. From that point of view, the subject of tag question or pronoun of the tag question is she in sentence 1 and he in sentence 2. Okay, so you can look at the gender chapter of your grammar book. Next, nothing is impossible. Second, something is wrong. So it's very clear that in each sentence there is a helping verb is. So, and of course think of its formation. First one is negative and second one is affirmative. So you know the rule plus minus minus plus. So here is the tag question first, is it, as the statement is negative. The second one is isn't it, as the tag question is affirmative. So there is you may have some problem with the subject it of tag question, and its explanation is here. The pronoun of everything, anything, something, anything or nothing is it. So now it's clear why the subject or the pronoun of tag question is it here, right? Okay, next, the boys used to travel, she is used to taking tea. So look at the structure of the sentence. First sentence, the boys used to travel, is tag question will come from, didn't they, first, and it can be written in another form. This is isn't they. Next one, isn't she? Here you may be confused about the tag questions. So if you look at the use of the phrase used to very precisely, it will be clear to you. Okay, so used to and be used to. So keep the use of these words precisely and keep their use in your memory. Okay, so if you need more clarification, you need more explanation for your clarification, then you can feel free to pass any question in comment box. Next one should do one's duty is tag question is shouldn't they? There you may have some problem because the subject of the statement is one and the pronoun or the subject of the tag question is the, and its explanation is that in modern language they is regarded as the singular indefinite pronoun. So when you will find one as a subject of a statement, its pronoun in making tag question will be they, because this is indefinite and of course singular in modern language, modern English grammar. Okay, so next come we had better leave the place, he would rather buy a car. Then look at the tag questions at the first, then we will move on for explanation. Don't we and didn't he, and the explanation is here. The helping verb of had better or had rather, would better or would rather is do, does, did. These helping verbs had better, had rather, would better, would rather, they are basically defective auxiliary verbs. Okay, next, he need not go outside, the poor need to go outside. So is there any helping verb? You may be confused. So let's look at the tag question first. Need he and don't they, and the explanations is here. An explanation is here. Need is used either as modal auxiliary verb or as main verb. So before making question tags, you will have to think whether the word need is used here as a modal auxiliary verb or as a main verb. So let's find out their type. Need not go and need to go. Need not go, need to go. Okay, need not go, here the word need is used as modal auxiliary verb, and here need to go, the word need is used as main verb. So how can we, the question is, how can we detect this type of use? So if you look at the second verb after that comes after need, there is some clue. If you look at the clue precisely, then it will be clear. So look at first sentence, he need not go. So when need will be used as a modal auxiliary verb, the second verb means go will be bare infinitive, and of course basically this type of sentence becomes negative, though this is not mandatory all the time. But in case of main verb, you find that go verb becomes infinitive. So in case of modal auxiliary verb, there will be no to before the second verb. In case of main verb, there will be to in front of main verb. So it's clear when need is used as a modal auxiliary verb, so and as a as a main verb. So as modal auxiliary verb, as need is used as modal auxiliary verb, so this comes in making question tag. Need he? And in the second sentence, need is used as a main verb, so do is the helping verb, so don't they, as the statement is affirmative, so the tag question is negative. Okay, good. Next, I'm a student of class 9. You are a liar. So look at the top, keep in memory, so be careful, because there is something irregularity, there is some irregularity here. So look at the first sentence. There is a helping verb am, so it should come in making tag questions very naturally, as we know it from our previous example. But what happens? Aren't I? This is irregularity, because am, as the statement is affirmative, so tag question should be negative. That means am and not should be in contracted form, but it never happens. If it happens, it changes its shapes. That means its figure am become aren't. So aren't I is the tag question. Okay. And next, you are a liar. So aren't you? It's very natural. Of course, a helping verb, and not is used with are in its contracted form. So there is nothing wrong. But sometimes we find some students use ain't you, but I don't prefer this one, ain't you. Why? Ain't, it's a colloquial form, so this is not a good English at all. So I suggest or I advise you not to use ain't you. It's a colloquial form. Okay, so be careful about these two things. Next, the head teacher and chairperson distributed the prizes. Did. Why? The tense is past indefinite, and of course there is no helping verb. Okay, and look at the formation. It's the affirmative statement, so tag question will be negative. And what about the pronoun of the tag question? They or he? Okay, first look at what is here. He. Confused? Okay, we will clear it a bit later. Next, the head teacher and the chairperson received salute from the cadets. So this is also past indefinite tense and affirmative sentence, so didn't. And what about the pronoun? He? Okay, he or they? Okay, they. So you may be confused about that pronoun of tag questions. First one he, then they, but the same sort of words are used here. But be careful while looking at the subject of the statement carefully. The head teacher and chairperson. But what about the next? The head teacher and the chairperson. So can you remember the any rule from the use of article? Yes, the number of the article will determine the number of the persons. As the head teacher and chairperson, there is only one the, it means one person holding two posts. But in case of second sentence, the head teacher and the chairperson, that means there are two these. It means two persons are holding two positions, so they are plural, and that this is why didn't they. Okay, so you can look at your grammar book on the use of article. Next, more examples. A blue and red car hit the tree yesterday. A blue and a red car hit the tree yesterday, and same sort of explanations are appropriate for these examples. Didn't eat and didn't they. So a blue and red car, that means a car, just a single car having two colors on it. A blue and a red car, it means two car, one is blue and another is red, and the number of car has been determined from the number of R. Okay, and the use of articles. So go to your chapter from grammar book, the use of article. Next, so every mother takes care of her child. Every teacher is qualified here. So look at the helping verbs of this statement. So do, as there is no helping verb, and as the statement is affirmative, so tag question is negative, and they, the pronoun. Next are not, as the second statement is affirmative, and of course the pronoun of the tag question is they. So why they? Every mother and every teacher. And here is the example, and here is the explanation. The pronoun of every plus noun, of course singular, is they. So next, on imperative sentences. So these are for, we are going to new type of sentence. Let's start a business. Do not go outside. So only three rules. If you keep in your memory, then you will be able to make tag questions of any imperative sentences. First one, if the statement starts with let's, then tag question will be shall we. If the imperative sentence become negative, don't or do not, then the tag question will be affirmative, and of course will you. Okay, so let's, this form can be written in another shape. That means let's become let us in full form, go on self quarantine. So let's and let us the same thing, so the tag question will be shall we. Okay, it's very simple. Let's move on. So wash your hands properly, and next one, wash your hands properly. So I'm using the same statement, but tag question is different. First one, will you, and second one, won't you. It means if the imperative sentence is affirmative, so you can tag question with will you or won't you, both are correct. Okay, so next, on exclamatory sentences. So we are almost at the end. So be careful at the end. How beautiful. Look at the sentence. There is no helping verb, there is no subject. Look, what a costly pen she bought. Naturally, we find the subject and verb at the end in case of exclamatory sentences. And sometimes we find without subject and verb because they are not important. They are less important in case of conveying our message, but they are understood. So look at the first sentence. Tag question, isn't it? That means how beautiful it is. It is the full form of the sentence, but it is the subject and verb is understood. And what a costly pen she bought. So she bought, subject and verb comes at the end, and its tag question is didn't she. Remember, while you are making any tag question from of exclamatory sentences, you will have to make the sentences transform into assertive one or assertive sentences. Then you will have to make tag questions of that very statements, and these tag questions will be of the tag questions of exclamatory sentences from where you got your assertive sentences. Okay, so this is all, and of course we are at an end, and hope that you have got your every answer that was in your mind. And if you have any more questions, query, then feel free to pass any comment in comment box. And whatever you do and wherever you are, stay home and stay safe. Goodbye. Assalamu alaikum.